Hello, my name is Katrina Boss, and welcome to Jamaica. We are going to talk about the healing power of love and figure out how to make it part of our lives. We'll practice with a meditation in a few minutes, but essentially, love is one of those weird things that we talk about it and we say that you can live on love, or I need love, or I wish he loved me, or we know that love is blind. We look at teenagers who are sick in love, or people who fall in love and they're just crazy, but we don't really get it. We talk about it, there's 1,000 songs about it. If you've ever been in love, every single song seems to remind you of your beloved. But we don't get it. Poets have been talking about it for millennia, of the healing power of love and all that, and we all kind of go, yeah, I get it, kind of, sort of, not really. No, I know what you mean, but I don't really get it. And the thing is that somewhere along the line, we screw it up. We love our children, but then we mess it up. Our brain gets in the way, and we start having expectations of them and worries about them and all these kind of things. We fall in love with someone, and we get married, and then there's expectations, and there's issues, and there's bills, and there's in-laws, and there's children, and all these things, and all of a sudden we go, yeah, I really loved them, but I don't know what happened. And, we have friends, and we can be surrounded by people, and yet half the world, or more than half the world, is depressed and feels disconnected and needs Prozac, or needs to get drunk to have fun, or just to relax a little. It's kind of curious when we all have experienced love in some way, and, where's the magic? What happened? Why isn't it a part of our lives all the time? People who have near-death experiences or have out-of-body experiences, there's a feeling that they all come back to, and they say, they're heading for the light and all that, but what's amazing is they feel love. They feel like the love permeates them at every side, every part of them, that they are the love. And it doesn't make any sense. Like in this world we go, I don't get it. How do you pay the bills when you are love? It doesn't make any sense in our kind of world. I've had this experience where you just have this out-of-body feeling, and you're just pure love. And it's really hard to kind of come back into this world where you, I don't know, you're just not surrounded by it, or we don't know how to do it. And yet, we can. The problem is, we just are afraid to actually experience it. If you imagine loving a child, if you have children, or the day my children were born, or the days they were born, looking at them and being absolutely overwhelmed with the feeling I had. I call it love, we call it love. But if you just imagine that feeling, that when you look at them and we say, the miracle of birth, and this child is now part of my life, and it's just this amazing, amazing thing. We call it love, and I believe it's love. But what it is deeper is it's a deep connection to another soul, to another human, to another being. And when we feel that connection, it is like a divine connection. It's that divinity. It's that how we connect into each other in a much deeper way than just, touching or physically being in each other's lives, that we're actually connected in some way that we really can't explain. What's really amazing is I've always been amazed. My kids are 17 and 15 now, and I still look at them in that same way. I just, my son's 6'4", so I have to look up at him like this, but I look at him and my heart just stops. Or I look at my daughter and I just, my heart doesn't really stop. It's more just, I am overwhelmed with this feeling of love I have for them. And from the day they were born, I was always terrified that I would lose them. It was like I was so afraid of this immense feeling I had. It kind of amped up the fear of losing them as well. And so every night before they would, before I would go to sleep, I would go into their rooms and make sure they were breathing, because there was this little part of me that was sure that at some point I was going to lose this. and it's just a fear. But I think the exact same thing happens with all of the loves we experience in our lives. We can be completely infatuated, completely in love with someone, and then this fear rises up and says, oh, but they might hurt you, or they might not always love you, or one day you're going to wake up and you're not going to love them, or what if they don't return the love in the same way you love them, and da-da-da-da-da. And so we sort of have this little thing we press back on, just a little, just to protect ourselves. And the curious thing is, and we do it with our friends too, you know, when you think of the people who love you, the people who are in your lives, you know, in a kind of crappy way, if you imagine the people who would come to your funeral and truly be devastated that you were gone. Sometimes we don't even express how much we love each other in day-to-day life, but we know that it's there. We know that we love them, and we know that they love us. Most of us are just so poorly trained, we just don't even know how to express it. But in this instance, we just have to know the truth. When we are here on this plane, whatever you want to call it, we do sort of have this little pushback. We have this little piece that protects us, that says, I see you love me, and I know you love me, and I love you too, but there's just this little something I'm going to hold in between us, because I just can't let it all go. You know, and we do it all the time. You know, like even you can have a grandchild come running up to you and like, oh, grandma, I just love you so much kind of thing, you know, and you're like, oh, I just love it. And you allow yourself a moment. You allow yourself that feeling of love and warmth and that affection from that child. And then there's some little part of you that goes, oh, too much, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Okay, go play now, okay, you know, come back and have some cookies later. But there's this little part that just will not let us sit there and just fully receive the love that that child is giving us, because we always have to push back a little. And I think this little pushback, this little, I don't know, film or surrounding or armor or whatever you want to call it. Armor's awfully harsh, because it doesn't have to be, sometimes it's armor for sure that we just hold it all out, but it doesn't have to be armor. It's just almost like a skin that's sort of permeable sometimes when it's safe, you know. And what's interesting is the difference between that and that feeling in that, you know, that near-death experience, whatever, when you are completely surrounded by love, and the love completely permeates your whole being, and it fills you. It fills every cell of your body, and you are 100% permeable. And maybe that's a really safe place to experience that. And maybe this world is a little wonky, and it's a little hard to be that open. But imagine having that feeling. Imagine even if you were 1% more in that way, feeling that love in everyday life. Because it's there. We have people that love us. We have people we love. Friends, family, children, grandchildren, spouses, partners. People who aren't even here anymore. People who have died. That love is always there. You know, someone can have died and you can close your eyes and remember that. My mom died 18 years ago, and I can close my eyes and remember lying in her chest and feeling how much she loved me. She doesn't even have to be here. And as humans, I think feeling that connection is everything. That's what brings us peace. That's what makes us happy. That's what brings us contentedness or contentment. When we don't feel connected, when we don't feel love with other people, we are lost. Our lives have no meaning, and life is a real struggle because nothing really matters. It doesn't make any sense. So it's really important to practice feeling love and being permeable, like for a moment allowing yourself to be completely permeated with love, just bathed in it. So that's what we're going to do. So get nice and comfortable. You can sit cross-legged like a yogi. You can have your hands in your lap. You can have your hands in Gya Mudra. You can sit on a chair. You can lie in your bed. You can put your arms over your heart. You can do whatever it is that feels right to you right now. So just close your eyes and breathe deeply. And just allow yourself to become fully present Just allow all other thoughts to float by. Breathing through the nose, expanding the belly as you inhale, contracting as you exhale. Allow your breath to become deeper, expanding the ribs in all directions, expanding the belly, slowing the exhale down. And then as you find that center, that there's a little part of us deep inside in our heart area, in our heart center, our soul, that part of us that's who we really are, that's never changed, that's always been the same. It's still, it's right in here. And just breathe from that place for a moment. Let your body go, let your personality, who you are and all that, let's just be that soul, that essence. And then think of someone who loves you and who you love back. And just picture them right in front of you. And picture them looking at you. See them looking at you. It could be a child, a grandchild, a spouse, lover, partner. It could be a parent. It could be a good friend. It could be anyone. Anyone who truly loves you. And you don't have to do anything interesting. Just look at them. See that sparkle in their eye when they look at you. Think of how much you love them. And then feel that. And allow that love to just flow through you. Imagine there being nothing in its way, no blocks, no stops, just easy flow. Allow yourself to be totally permeable, just for this little bit, releasing all guards. And just feeling that love flow through your entire being effortlessly. Let your breath become deeper. Really feeling that love nourish your body, your spirit. And then imagine other people who love you. And imagine them sitting in a circle around you. Just sitting there, and they're looking at you. And you can see them, and you can look into their eyes and fully receive their love. It may be a challenge. You may feel funny thoughts, or feelings that you don't deserve it, or we have all kinds of thoughts. Just let those thoughts go. Just come back to the love. Look into their eyes and know the truth. And just feel that love like it's just coming in on all sides. You can feel it through your back. You can feel it through your sides. Just breathe with that love. And then take a deep breath in. And exhale. And just smile. And it always sounds kind of corny to say, know you are loved. But it is something we can carry into our lives. It is something that we can remember. That we can just, anytime, we can close our eyes and feel that and know that. And there's something really magical that just changes everything. Suddenly we are fully present and we're happy. Even if for a moment it just pulls us out of the maelstrom that life can be, and the stresses and the worries. Just to simply feel that, to know that, and especially sometimes when people don't act so loving. When you remember, this is why we practice meditation. We practice remembering and feeling that love. Not what's in our head and not what we do, but really feeling the truth. So, thanks for joining me here in sunny Jamaica, and we'll see you soon.